Welcome, everyone. This is John Ryan of SportsMemo.com, and I'm going to bring you the NCAA Basketball Daily Dime Show for Thursday, February the 3rd, 2022. I'm going to be featuring 3 game breakdowns with the advanced analytics that I know you love, and I love them even more, and some best bets after I break down the 3 games. One of which is in the Pac-12 between UCLA and Arizona, a little revenge situation. And in just a moment, I'm going to get to that play, but I want to give you a quick reminder. If you want an official premium all-access plays that I release every night, just last night I went 4-1. I'm having one heck of a big winning week so far. This is the time to get on board. You can get a 3-day all-access package for just $49 at my profile page, which is sm.buzz/JR. Again, that's sm.buzz/JR. And today I'm going to have discounted 3-pack of NCAA college hoops and an NBA play as well. The 3-pack will cost $19. The NBA play just $9. And I'm doing it just because you're listening to this show, and I greatly appreciate it. Current hot streaks right now, I'm 18-5 over the last 23 Super Bowls. That's 78%. And I'm on a 7-2 against the spread NFL playoff run this season. NBA is on a 70% win streak right now. My 5 and 10 percenters in NFL playoffs are hitting 75% for the full season. In the NBA and NCAA basketball, the last 25 have hit 63%. In the NHL, which now has gone to the break for the All-Star game, I'm 67% since January 20th and an ROI of 11%. Every single one of those plays being a money line dog. My puck line plays are hitting 80% for the full season. So do yourself a favor. It's a great time to be an all-sports client and have me start working for you starting tonight. And there's a special offer right now where you can get the next 2 weeks free if you take advantage of the highly discounted annual subscription that carries you from now until next year's Super Bowl. So that's more than 365 days. You will get all access, including the 5 and 10 percenters that I release, for only $699 versus the regular price of $1,299, saving you $600 and giving you the next 2 weeks, essentially 10 days, for absolutely free. This comes out to less than $2 per day. So take advantage. Get over there to sportsmemo.com. Use my profile link in the screen that you see right now and take advantage of this and have me start working for you tonight. Long-term investment is the way to go, and for this kind of price of less than $2 a day, you're making an investment in yourself to get involved with my work. So let's get on to the show here. We're going to take a look at the first game. Here's the College of Charleston is taking on William & Mary, and William & Mary has really forced a significant turnaround since Christmas, notching its first wins of the season. They now have 4 against Division I opposition while covering 9 of their last 10. So the Tribe has been as good a bet in the 2022 calendar year as top-ranked Auburn, and even better than UCLA, which we're going to talk about in a little bit. So William & Mary also enters tonight ahead of Charleston in the standings in the Colonial Athletic Association. Head coach Dane Fisher has done a remarkable job turning this team around that was borderline embarrassing in the beginning of the year, and it was well publicized in the Williamsburg newspapers, and he really took it to heart, and he has things rolling. His team is led by 6'9" sophomore forward, scoring 17 points per game across his last 5 games, and also ex-Bryant member. He transferred from Bryant. Brandon Carroll, who scored in double digits across the past 4 games, is averaging 16.5 points per game. The first player I was mentioning is Ben Wright. He's the one that's averaging 17 points per game over his last 5. So in this matchup, we're seeing William & Mary as the home team. They are a 8-point home underdog here. The power rankings that I use have, should be a little bit higher, but that's not actually a negative. It's actually a positive that the market is already anticipating that William & Mary is going to play well tonight against this team. So in this situation, we're going to play over the total in this matchup because the scoring for William & Mary is sustainable. College of Charleston's coming off a couple of below average games offensively. They're due for a bounce back, and I do think that the total will go over the 154.5 point line and more likely to be closer to 170 than 150 in a high scoring, high paced game. So we're going to play over with home teams with a team like William & Mary in a game involving poor defensive teams allowing 74 to 78 points per game, and after scoring 65 points or fewer in the last 2 consecutive games. That combination of parameters, 33-12 to the over, that's 73%, folks, over the last 5 seasons, and it all points to taking the over in the College of Charleston versus William & Mary game tonight. The next one we're going to talk about here, I'm going to save the Arizona game for last. We're going to talk about Gonzaga versus San Diego, and this is a very interesting matchup because the Toreros of San Diego are in third place in the West Coast Conference, while Gonzaga is always in first place, it seems, in the West Coast Conference. They're going to be playing this at the Jenny Craig Pavilion at 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Thursday night. The Toreros are 13-9 in the season, 12-8 against the spread with a 9-11 over/under. Gonzaga has lost only 2 times in 19 games. They have a 17-2 record, 10-8-1 against the spread. As a favorite, they are straight-up winners in 17 of those 19 games. The line for this game puts the Toreros as a 23-point home dog with an over-under of 152. So what we're talking about here is a play to the over, and I think it makes a lot of sense because 9 times this year, Mark Few's Gonzaga Zags have scored 89 or more points. They are the number 1 scoring offense in the nation, averaging over 90, and I don't see any reason in the world they would want to try to play slow against San Diego because San Diego is one of the slowest paced teams in the nation and also the West Coast Conference. Field goals attempted per game, they are ranking 178th, averaging 58 shots per game. It's not terribly slow, but by West Coast Conference standards, very slow. Gonzaga is 24th nationally, averaging 63 shots per game. I think both teams will exceed that. You could easily see 135 shots taken by both teams in this game. That leads to the over. Mark Few, as the coach of Gonzaga, is 46-30 in road games after scoring 75 or more points in 4 consecutive games. He's also 33-20 over in road games after scoring 75 or more points in 5 consecutive games. Gonzaga, as a team, is 20-7 to the over off a home blowout win of 20 or more points in games played over the last 3 seasons. Gonzaga is also 27-10 over after leading in their previous game by 15 or more points at the half in games played over the last 3 seasons. And lastly, San Diego, the Toreros, not to be left out, they are 30-14 over, coming off of 2 straight wins against conference rivals. I also have a lean with taking the points here. I just have a gut instinct that there's just like too many points to be giving to a home team that's really hungry and playing very well. Let's move to the last game now. And this is the big one. This is the UCLA Bruins. They're first place in the Pac-12, ranked number 3 in the nation. They're taking on the Arizona Wildcats, who are ranked 7th in the nation. Second in the Pac-12 standings. They are 17-2 for the season, 11-7-1 push against the number. They are 11-0 at home and 16-1 as a favorite, and they do come into this game as a 6.5, now 7-point favorite. It opened at 6.5. It's moving higher, and there's reasons for that, which I will get to very shortly. The total is 148.5 points. UCLA 16-2 on the season. They are 5-0 in road games. The reason for the line movement is Arizona lost badly to UCLA just 2 games ago. So the revenge factor is fresh in their minds, and they're catching, due to the schedule here, a really good time to be playing at home versus UCLA in revenge. And without Jaquez Jr., who is questionable for tonight's game, he's dealing with an ankle injury, and it's undetermined right now whether he will suit up for this game tonight. Juzang is going through the COVID-19, and he will be out. He's going through the COVID-19 health and safety protocols, and there's no timetable for the recovery, obviously. Now, those two players, Juzang's played 16 games. He started 16 games. He averages 31.4 minutes, so that's a lot of minutes to fill from the bench. And he's averaging a team-high 18.1 points per game. And Jaquez has played 17 games, started 17 games, and averaging 12.3. So there's 30.4 points per game between the two players that will not be suiting up tonight. And the biggest loss is obviously Juzang with the 18.1 points and everything else he does on the court that doesn't get recorded in the box score. So with Arizona, they have no injuries that are of any significance whatsoever. They are led by several players in double digits. They have 4 players that start that are averaging more than 10 points per game. They're going to be obviously pretty darn hungry to revenge that loss they had just 2 games ago. UCLA has won 8 of the last 10 matchups as well. They've covered the spread in 8 of the last 10. UCLA is 9-1 the last 10, only losing to Oregon 84-81 in overtime. Arizona 8-2, but come in 3-6-1 against the spread. They lost 75-59 to UCLA and failed to cover as 13-point road dogs on January 25th. So there you have it. That play, I think Arizona will win this game, and I also think they will win it comfortably by double digits, mainly because UCLA is so undermanned coming into this game. But more importantly, I like the under. And the reason I like the under, it's backed by one of the algorithms, and you're going to play under with home teams against the total after 2 or more consecutive under games in a game involving 2 explosive offenses that are averaging more than 77 points per game after the 15th game of the regular season. So that means play the under in the second half of the season with home teams against the total after 2 or more consecutive unders in a game involving 2 excellent offenses averaging 77 or more points. That has gone 64-29 over the last 5 seasons for 68% winning bets, taking the under. The best bet for the show is the under UCLA Arizona in this game tonight, which is must-watch television for sure. So there you have it. I broke down the 3 games, and make sure you take advantage of the more than $600 discount right now over at sportsmemo.com to get every single one of my plays in every single sport and be an all-access client. A lot of times these plays go out only to the all-access clients and are not sold publicly on a daily or a 3-card or a 7-day subscription basis. So becoming an all-access client is very, very good thing to do. So thanks again for watching the Thursday edition of the NCAA Daily Dime Show, and take a moment to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hammer the bell, because then you get notified of every single show that we release and produce in every single sport. Have yourself a great Thursday in the sports betting markets, and always remember that with your head and not over it, and may all the wins be yours.
Make sure to subscribe to Sports Memo TV, and you will get all of our latest videos on your YouTube homepage. If you do not want to miss the latest from our team of expert sports handicappers, just click the bell icon to get a real-time notification when we upload new sports betting tips and free sports picks.